Welcome back. Ryan Humes, a 30-year-old Bahamian first officer with Delta Airlines, piloted his first Nassau-bound flight on Tuesday, August 8th, touching down at the London Pinling International Airport at 12:53 p.m. On hand to welcome the proud pilot, flight crew, and passengers were the Bahamas Director of Aviation, Dr. Kenneth Romer, Humes' parents, and officials from Delta Airlines, NAD, and the Airport Authority. According to Dr. Romer, what made this particular flight more special was to have a young Bahamian male as the pilot in command, representing the many skilled and talented Bahamians making their contribution to the international aviation ecosystem. Delta Airlines currently operates daily flights into Nassau from Atlanta, Boston, LaGuardia, and JFK, as well as daily services from Atlanta into Eleuthera, Exuma, and Abaco. Full steam ahead for this year's Boxing Day and 2024 New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade. This much from Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Mario Boleg.
Well, we definitely going to be ready. I think after the end of the month, come September, the JCNP along with the NJC and the ministry will meet and start making the necessary logistic plans for Junkanoo. And so at this time, JCNP will be meeting with their various groups, setting their rules and regulations that they're going to present to the ministry and the NJC. And so things are on the move, and we're looking for a spectacular Junkanoo coming this December.
Minister Boleg says discussions are being held to find out when would be the best day to host the annual Junior Junkanoo parades, either before the Christmas holidays or after.
That's the intent, but we also remember we got to work along with the Ministry of Education and ensure that these kids don't be affected based on the time we want to hold Junkanoo, because normally that's the time of examination. And then also too, the plan is when it comes to Junior Junkanoo, we want each island to have its own parade and then finally have a national parade. When New Providence would have its own parade also, but when we have the National Junkanoo Parade, Junior Junkanoo Parade, it will be the champions of each island. And so that's the intent, so you'll see a variation when it comes to the Junior Junkanoo this year. According to Minister Boleg, government has allocated $2.5 million for all three parades. Bahamas Ambassador to the United States, Wendell Jones, was one of the featured speakers at the 118th Grand Temple Convention of the Improved Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks of the World in Baltimore, Maryland on Friday, August 4th. During his speech, Ambassador Jones talked about his experience with the elk fraternity in the Bahamas. He said what impressed him was the large number of outstanding Bahamian leaders who were members. There were men like the late Charles Rodriguez, who became one of the first black senators in the Bahamas, and the late Clarence Bain, a freedom fighter, who is one of our national heroes, and countless women from the suffragette movement who fought for the right of women to vote here in the Bahamas. They were members of the ELK organization as well. He said the organization has had a tremendous impact on shaping the economic, social, and political landscape of the Bahamas. And beyond this, its members were at the forefront of developing a culture of volunteerism here in the Bahamas. Attending the convention were some 1,000 delegates. Pictured, Ambassador Jones is seen with Leonard J. Polk Jr., Grand Exalted Ruler, Grand Patriarch, and Margaret D. Scott, Granddaughter Ruler, along with others in the photos. And finally, Bahamian track and field fans and fans of Shawnee Miller-Weibo around the world are excited to hear that she will be making a return to track and field after having a baby in April of this year. Shawnee will compete in the 400 meters at the IAAF World Track and Field Championships August 16th to the 27th in Budapest, Hungary. She is the defending 400-meter champion and received an automatic invitation to the event. She, along with Olympic men's 400-meter champion Stephen Gardner out of Abaco, will lead an 11-member team from the Bahamas that will also include sprinter Anthony Strawn, who has been having a stellar season, 100-meter hurdler Devin Charlton, who was a medal contender, former world champion high jumper Donald Thomas, and college sprinting sensation Terrence Jones, along with long jumper Laquan Nairn, who is quickly making a name for himself in professional track and field. Unfortunately, there will be no women's 4x100-meter relay, no men's 4x400-meter relay teams for the Bahamas at this year's World Championships. That'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jareno Saunders. Thanks so much for joining us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.